Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. This broadcast is a product of Shrine Media, LLC. Unauthorized use, sale, or redistribution of this media in any form is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of Shrine Media. Radio and television mediums are encouraged to reach out. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the game.
It's an elimination game, the middle game of 3 here on a Wednesday in Kingsport, Tennessee. The NAIA opening round presented by Visit Kingsport here at Hunter Wright Stadium. It's the Indiana Tech Warriors going up against the Cumberland Phoenix. Hello again, everybody, and welcome inside Hunter Wright Stadium. Matt Kibbe with you here on SESN, and it is going to be a good one here on the elimination side of the bracket for this second game. Earlier today, we saw Columbia College certify their spot in the championship game tomorrow here at Hunter Wright Stadium, but we are yet to figure out who that team will be. There are 3 teams left that can play Columbia College. 2 of them will play right now, and then it will go down to 2 tonight at 5 o'clock. Indiana Tech comes in after winning their first game of this opening round against Louisiana Christian. They lost yesterday to Tennessee Wesleyan. That put them in this game here today. Cumberland comes in after losing their first game against Columbia College and then beating Louisiana Christian and eliminating them last night in a 10-0 victory in 9 innings. First pitch of this game, a little bit early, 1:27, and it's a first pitch strike. The pitcher today for the Warriors is Coley Stevens. His second offering is outside, 1-1. Stevens comes in, his 11th appearances, 7 starts. He's 5-2 on the year, 7.59 ERA, a 2.13 whip. Pitch just missed on the outside, 2-1. Looking at what he's been able to do, 33 strikeouts on the year, 13 walks. He's given up 27 runs. All of them have been earned. 2-1. The count. Stevens' pitch on the outside misses again. Take a look. Here's the leadoff man, Drew Dalton Akawumi, who has been really good for this Cumberland team in that leadoff role. (3-1) sliced. Foul, make it 3-2. Beautiful blue skies here in Kingsport. We had weather the first 2 days. Now we're playing true baseball. There's a walk. First batter of the game will get on base with a base on balls, and that will bring up Hunter Moser. Moser bats second. Wetchell, who had the 2 home runs last night in that 10-0 game, bats third. Wilser 10 bats fourth. Toshi Korea fifth. Dylan LaRue, Gaines Hassan, and Trenton Dukeshire and Javier Beal round out the Cumberland lineup. Defensively, Indiana Tech about the same as you would expect. There's a bunt, throw over to first, move the runner, and the first out of the game is recorded, but it moves the runner to second here on SESN.
Now batting right fielder number 22, Preston Wetchell.
Wetchell, again, just mentioned it, but the 2 home runs yesterday, the first one, a line drive that got out of here in a hurry, and then the second one, a no-doubter over the scoreboard here at Hunter Wright Stadium. He'll swing at the first offering from Stevens, and that is a foul ball. Turned on it quickly. He's got that fast bat speed. Stevens from Mount Pleasant Mills, Pennsylvania. In his senior year at Indiana Tech, the 0-1. Missed on the outside, called a ball. 1-1 goes the count. Runner at second. 1-1. Fouled back by Wetchel, batting from the left side. Has that big bat, takes advantage of right field. It was on the Mid-South first team at the end of the season. One of the best players on this team, has the highest batting average on the team at 366. And sees a pitch on the outside with 2 strikes to make it 2-2. He's also walked 40 times this year. 12 home runs. He got 2 of them yesterday. 122 at-bats, 60 RBIs. 2-2. High in the air. Calling everybody off is Bryson Hanna. He'll make the catch, and there are 2 away with a runner at second for the Phoenix.
Now batting first base number 8, Wilfer 10.
Wilser 10 will step in, the other Mid-South Conference first teamer in his junior year with the Phoenix. 2 outs up on the board, runner at second as we are underway here in Kingsport, Tennessee. Another strike on the outside makes it 0-1. Stevens has been tasked. These 2 teams have some history, at least this year, but over the course of the past couple of years, they've seen each other quite a bit. Talking to the Cumberland crew, Cumberland's in a great spot for these Midwest teams to kind of, on their trip south for spring break, you kind of stop there either on the way in or on the way out. Get a couple of midweek games in. And that was the case for Indiana Tech. They used them, met up with Cumberland at the beginning of the year. That was back on February the 14th. That was actually for Indiana Tech. That was their first 2 games of the season. At that point, Cumberland had already played a bunch of games. The 1-2 in the dirt. They split that series, or that doubleheader, back on the February the 14th. Indiana Tech got the first win 8-3, and then Cumberland won that second one 4-1. We'll have more about that second game when we come up in the bottom half of this inning. 2-2 on the corner, called strike 3. So leadoff man gets on, but nothing goes for the Phoenix of Cumberland. We go to the bottom of the second. First time we'll see the Warriors bat today. We'll be right back on SCSN. Welcome back. Here's the starting pitcher for this Cumberland team in this elimination game. It is Quinlan Wiley who is going to get the start here for head coach Ryan Hunt. He comes in this season, already facing this Warrior team. That was back on that doubleheader on the 14th. He went 5 innings in that game, gave up 3 hits, no runs, and he struck out 9 in a route to a 4-1 win over the Warriors of Indiana Tech. Outside of that this year, he's been one of the best pitchers on this team. A 2.89 ERA in 14 starts. He's got 2 complete games in 81 innings pitched. He has struck out 81 batters and only walked 8 on the season. One of the best pitchers in the Mid-South. He was a second-teamer on the All-Mid-South teams, a transfer from East Georgia State in his senior year. We're in the bottom of the first inning now. So the way that these seedings work is, we'll get into more storylines throughout, but in case you're wondering, it's based on how many home games you have played. And because both of these teams were tied entering this elimination game, they had to flip for it. So it was a coin flip to determine who was going to be the home team. Indiana Tech wins the coin flip. They get to be the home team, and that is the reason Cumberland is in the road grays with the black uniform. Another foul ball makes it 2-2 as Wiley gets ready to work. The 2-2 down the line, foul. Wiley stands at 6'3", the right-hander from Georgia. Line drive on the ground and through the diving hole between 10 and Beal and second base. It gets all the way out to right. That is a leadoff hit for the Warriors here in this elimination game. First hit of the ball game goes to the Warriors, and there's a runner on first. It is Ryberchek. Ryberchek has been good all year. There's a reason he bats in that leadoff spot, and you see it right there, able to get the base knock. He's a 277 hitter, but the biggest thing is he's 6 for 6 on stolen bases, so he can put the wheels in motion and really wreak havoc on the base pass out in the outfield, playing right field. Bottom of the first inning. Leadoff man is on. The 0-1. Quinning gets a strike on the outside corner, and it is quickly 0-2 on Morrison. Morrison comes in as the best hitter on this Warrior team, 382 average. Pick off over to first, doesn't go anywhere. Just a little get me over throwback. Oh, and to the count. Wiley sends one on the outside. It's missed. Both these teams here in this first inning, of course, the elimination game. So all hands are on deck. We will be paying close attention to the bullpens, of course, pitching the biggest thing in these opening rounds. There's a high fly ball to center field. Quickly tracking it and making a move on it is Moser. He gets to it in plenty of time. And that is the first out for the Warriors in the bottom half of the inning. Runner still at first base.
Now batting third baseman at 17, Bryson Hanna.
Bryson Hanna, one of the best hitters in the conference, was a WAC all-conference second teamer. Pickoff not in time. We've seen a couple of pickoffs here this week in Kingsport. Haven't had one today, only had the one game. That was the, we can call it an upset now. The 3 seed took out Tennessee Wesleyan, the number 1 seed. Runner takes off for second. Throwdown is to the left of the bag, and it will be a stolen base for the leadoff man that got on. Ryberchek, that's his 7th stolen base. He has not been thrown out on the base pass this year when stealing. So that gives him his 7th stolen base, puts a runner in scoring position. for Bryson Hanna. Traditionally a first baseman, but playing third during this tournament to get some extra bats in the lineup. High fly ball. Going to go to the foul side. And the big bat that they wanted to get in was Malott. Jordan Malott, who has a big bat. That's the one that they like using in that 4-hole spot. So Bryson moves to third so he can play first. And then he reaches out for one and pops it up on the infield. Catch made by the first baseman, 10. And that is 2 outs, the runner at second. So kind of matching each other here in the early part of this game.
Now batting first baseman, number 22, Jordan Malott.
Jordan Malott will step up. Playing from first base today. 359 average entering today. Trying to figure out who will play against Columbia College tomorrow. So originally, if we had been on our normal schedule, this would have actually been the first game of the day. And then we would have had a follow-up elimination game. And then we would have started the championship game. Would have been a doubleheader. We would have had a doubleheader yesterday and then a doubleheader today with the last elimination game and then the start of the championship. But because of some of our changes that we've had to make because of the weather, we actually will have the championship be it's on its own day. So realistically, that actually, one, it benefits Columbia the most. They get an extra night's rest. They've only had to play 1 game a day. Being the being the 2-0 team. Two and 1 is the count. Swung fouled into the glove. Count goes to 2-2. Twos across the board. Pitch down low. Runs it 3-2. Full count. Wiley just trying to get that control. He's pitched a lot. Last time he pitched was against Cumberland's Kentucky. That was an 8-inning performance his last time out. High fly ball foul. We'll do the 3-2 all over again. I'm starting to realize the benefit of the rain was the lack of bees in the press box. So that's going to be something we deal with today. We didn't have it in the first game because it was cold. Now it's warmed up a little bit. The 3-2. High fly ball to left field. Tracking it, going back, and this one is gone! Jordan Malott, a 2-run homer to give the Indiana Tech the early 2-0 lead over Cumberland. Only the 8th home run that Wiley has given up this year. Malott, that's his 13th home run of the season. And he poked it out to left, got it above the mountains, and it was gone. So 2-0 Indiana Tech after the Jordan Malott home run. 1-1's the count on the follow-up man, Jake Ferguson. Jack swings over top of another one. It's 1-2. That was a long home run. It had a high arch. It was not a line drive by any means, and it just got over that wall in a hurry. So an early 2-0 lead for the Warriors. Wiley just trying to get out of it. There's a Line drive past the outstretched glove of 10, and the bats have shown up early for Indiana Tech. That's their third hit of the game here in the first inning. Another 2-out hit. They are 2 for 2 now with 2 outs. Ferguson gets on, and Huerta is going to come up, the designated hitter for Indiana Tech. Warriors already have a 2-0 lead after the Malott home run. Seasons are on the line here in this game. We've already sent one team home. That was Louisiana Christian last night. There's a base hit through the hole between first and second, and it is 3 hits in a row. For Indiana Tech. And this will lead to a meeting on the mound, an early meeting for the Cumberland Phoenix. Having a conversation with the senior, just hasn't had the best stuff so far. Indiana Tech has found it and gotten a way to piece it together. Of course, Indiana Tech has played 2 games already here in Kingsport. Won the first 8-2, then lost to Tennessee Wesleyan 8-1. And now there's 2 runners on against Cumberland. They are looking to add on to their 2-0 lead. First pitch of the at-bat as Rainey steps in. Garrett has been a mainstay in center field all year long. Batting .282 on the year. 0-1. Sends a high fly ball to center field. This should get Cumberland out of the inning. Moser is there. He will get it, but the home run by Jordan Malott gives the Indiana Tech Warriors a 2-0 lead here on SCSN. We'll be right back. Welcome back on SCSN NAIA opening round. Matt Kibbe with you here. We go to the second inning. Cumberland now chasing 2 in the early going. First pitch misses. Coley Stevens has been entrusted with what is now the biggest game of the year for the Warriors, an elimination game. First swing of the at-bat. Going to be a long fly ball foul to the right side. Stevens, we talk about that matchup they had earlier. So at the time, Cumberland had already played 8 games in the season before Indiana Tech came and started their season at Cumberland. In that series, Stevens didn't throw, so it makes it, that early season matchup, these two teams, and talking to both coaches, both of them agree, two completely different teams now. You are a way different team than who you were in the first part of the season. That's a line drive right at the left fielder, Miller, and he'll make a nice easy grab for the first out here in the second. But these two teams are way different than who they were on February 14th when Indiana Tech's season got going and Cumberland was already 8 games in. But both did say, you get a little bit, you feel a little bit better going against somebody that you saw earlier in the year. It helps you out to know who they are. I mean, we've already seen an example of that with the Cumberland team that did throw Wiley against Indiana Tech. He didn't give up any runs in that game, and now gave up the 2-run homer, and he's trailing 2-0 in the second inning. So there's something to be said about those early season matchups. Nice diving play by the second baseman, Ferguson. Makes the grab, throws it over to first in plenty of time, and Ferguson gets the second out courtesy of the dive. There's 2 outs up on the board as we move along here in the top of the second inning. Next batter is Gaines Hassan. He steps in today looking for that momentum to help his team get back into this one, down 2-0 early. Pitch misses from Stevens. One 0 misses. So 2-0 the count. And a hot shot back up the middle. There's a base hit. And from Hassan, the 2-out single will extend the inning for the Phoenix. Talking to Ryan Hunt, he said, last night against Louisiana Christian, you see Hassan at first after the single. Last night, seeing that offense score 10 runs. Now, he was very clear. Don't get me wrong. They gave us a couple of runs, but still the offense showed up. They put 10 runs up on the board, and that's a confidence builder. After they were only able to get 1 against Columbia College, they saw a 10 spot go up, and that helps when you get into this elimination game. Your backs are against the wall, and you need everything to show up. You need everybody. You need your defense. You need your pitching. You need your offense. And so to have that last night in an elimination game, it's nice. It's nice to have, and now you feel a little bit better. You're playing less than 24 hours later. Fly ball to right field. It's slicing. It will go foul and stay in the ballpark. But, you get back into it, and they actually, the funny thing for Cumberland is they had a little bit of a hiccup at lunch today. They got there a little bit later, and Coach Hunt didn't want to rush anybody. And so they ended up showing up to the ball field a little bit later than what they kind of anticipated. They actually cut into a little bit of their hitting time. With it being a postseason, everything is on a schedule, meaning you get a certain amount of time in the cages as a team, and then the other team gets the same amount of time. Everybody gets 10-minute infield if they want it, and it's at a very specific time. The only thing that maybe on the funny side of it hasn't been at the specific time is our start times all week. They've kind of been a little all over the place. Swing and a miss, a quick at-bat for Dukeshire, and that's another strikeout for Stevens, his second of the game, and it ends the frame. Indiana Tech still up 2-0 here on SCSN. We'll be right back for the bottom of the second inning. Welcome back here. We move to the bottom of the second inning.
Bringing up ball in the second. Bringing attack. Left field number 7, Jaden Miller.
Wiley back on the mound going up against Jaden Miller here to start off the bottom of the second inning. Another swing over top of 1 and 2 quickly on Miller. Pitch down low. Count goes to 2-1 here early in this 2-0 affair in favor of Indiana Tech in the early going, courtesy of that 2-run homer by Jordan Malott. High fly ball center field. Tracking it is Moser. He'll track it down and make the catch. First out here in the second inning for Wiley. That's a nice way to readjust after giving up the 2 early runs. That will bring up Alex Watkins, the 9-hole hitter, wearing number 9. Back in, fouls off the first pitch. A 1. Called a strike on the outside from Wiley. Another swing and a miss. First strikeout for Wiley, and that puts 2 outs up on the board here in the second inning. Swing and a miss for that first strikeout, and the second chance for Indiana Tech here with 2 outs. Down the line, first baseman 10 is there. He'll make it. It's a 1-2-3 inning, a nice bounce back inning for Quinn O'Reilly, who really needed it after giving up the 2-run homer. 1-2-3 go the Warriors, and we move to the third here on SESN. Welcome back here on SESN. Take a quick look. We're going to go side by side. There's a game happening down at Reinhardt, and there's a look at it here on SESN. These 2 games have been a lot of fun. These 2 sites that SESN is producing have given us some really high-quality games. That's the Waleska region that has a 4-team region. First game of the day underway. I believe that's Ave Maria and Reinhardt going at it. That's what it looks like. That's what we're going with. 2-0 though the score here on SCSN. Indiana Tech in favor. It was a first inning home run, that one right back at us. Almost got hit earlier in game one. Didn't, but it's as close as we've gotten today. Now I put a mic out there to protect us. We're in the top of the third inning. Javi Beal, the batter, and if he's got the juice of Javi Baez, so he can do some damage. Rolls this one over to short, picked up there by Morrison, throws over in plenty of time for the 6-3 putout. One away here in the third inning. Play over there by Malai. He's the hero so far. He's got the 2-run home run back in the first inning. And now we will see the top of the order come back up. Drew Dalton-Akawumi. We have a lot of the Cumberland faithful that are tuned in, but I put on the radio broadcast. Thank you if you do still get our audio. Thank you for tuning in. I know we got a lot of Warriors tuning in from the Fort Wayne and surrounding area. Excited to have you along with us. Some northern baseball coming down south. Paul just missed. Count goes to 2-0. Two teams that are coached by some legends in their own right. Ryan Hunt, the head coach for the Cumberland Phoenix, in his fourth season at the helm, getting back to the postseason and the opening round this year. Just trying to build that team back up to what the Cumberland Phoenix have been known for. They took a little bit of a dip, and now getting back to that level that the alumni are so used to. On the other side for the Warriors, in his 18th season, there's a 4-pitch walk. Kip McWilliams is the head coach for Indiana Tech. A fun conversation with both of them. You know, we have a lot of games going on. We have 5 teams here at the start, so it's hard to kind of get a chance to talk to all the coaches. So I've been able to go down before the game and have conversations with them. And let me tell you, these two coaches are some of the best baseball minds I've gotten a chance to interact with. They know the game really well, and I had a fun conversation with Kip before this game. And, you know, we often talk about the difference in style of play. You see an example of it in these two teams playing each other. For Indiana Tech, it was their first time seeing the field this year. For Cumberland, they had already played 8 games up to that point. So there's a difference in the style between the northern programs and the southern programs due to the weather and everything that they have to deal with. So I asked Coach McWilliams, I go, hey, when you get drawn into one of the southern regions for the opening round, like, does that have an impact, that style? He's like, no, not really, but you are aware that, you know, a southern hitter that is in the warm weather all year long, they tend to have a little bit more of a free swing when they get 2 strikes. So you can kind of expose that a little bit by throwing a little bit more breaking balls, maybe a little bit more away from the zone to try and get them to chase, because they're not used to having to play that small ball. They're used to just kind of airing it out and taking big swings. There's a roller to second. 6-4-3 double play. No on the bobble at first. It's the one area Cumberland has struggled with this year, is hitting into double plays, but Indiana Tech not able to complete the double play on that one, and that will keep the inning alive. They'll switch places, and Wetchell will step up here with 2 away and a runner at first. This is the man you'd want up even in the early part of this game. It's just the third inning, but runs are always at a premium in the postseason. And so now he's got a chance to do a little bit more damage. He hit 2 home runs yesterday and took a home run hack at the first pitch. Goes to 0-1. It's a prime example of a southern hitter. Preston Wetchell from Georgia, Cartersville that is, transfer from Tennessee Wesleyan. He could have a date with his former team here tonight if Cumberland is able to get the victory here in this game. They would play immediately after. Winner of this game stays alive, plays you keep your season alive, but your reward is the #1 seed in the tournament, Tennessee Wesleyan, who was upset by Columbia College earlier today in a 7-2 affair. Oh, 2 on Wetchel. He's already 0 for 1 today. Stevens set, delivers, rollover, foul, stay alive. Again, more Southern versus Northern, but these Northern teams, they don't get a lot of chance to practice outside in the winter like the Southern teams do. It has an impact on you in the early going. You can see that Indiana Tech had a good spring, but had a couple of tough opponents down south, and they lost a couple of those games. Freed Hardman comes to mind. Another fly ball. This one should stay in play. Giving chase is Miller, and he will track it down in foul territory in left field. And so after a couple runners get on and they get stranded at first, it is still 2-0 here on SESN. We head to the bottom of the third inning. Indiana Tech in front.
It all began in 1937. A vision to start something different, something better. A college athletics association where competition wasn't just about the scoreboard, but about character, growth, and rising together. From that first tip-off, the NAIA has grown in size and in spirit, in the way we play, the way we lead, the way we make athletics greater than a game.
This is college athletics the way it was meant to be. This is the right way to play.
Welcome back here on SESN. Matt Kibbe with you. Excited to have you along. Elimination game action, bottom of the third inning. We continue to move through this game, a game that started at 1:27. There's a line drive back up the middle. Indiana Tech continues to put the barrel on the ball. That is the fifth hit of the game. And Morrison gets the leadoff single, and now Bryson Hanna will step up, 0 for 1 today. Hanna has been good. He pops a bunt up. Giving chase here is Dukeshire. It just gets too far back. That's a surprise bunt from Bryson Hanna. Hanna this year really kind of known for his power. 6 home runs, 15 doubles on the year, a .530 slugging percentage, and a .354 average. This is a guy that you would not expect to bunt, but I think the mindset here for Kip McWilliams is you need runs. Runs are at a premium. You got the home run to get you 2. How can you get a couple more? It's a Cumberland offense that can score. They've done it all year long. They put up 10 runs last night. So not a team to take lightly on the offensive side, even if Stevens has shut him down for the most part. The 1-1 misses. Count goes to 2-1. Ground ball in the hole past the diving shortstop, Dalton Nakawumi, who was shaded for a double play ball. A perfectly placed ground ball to get through the hole for a base hit. Back-to-back hits to start off this third inning for the Warriors, who are threatening to score once again against Cumberland. Wiley's going to have to put something together here to at least find an out. Would love to do it himself. First pitch, though, down low for a ball. So runners at first and second. Another pitch down low from Wiley. Just doesn't seem to have his stuff that he normally has and has had his past a couple of weeks. I mean, you look at some of the games that he had just recently. He's faced Cumberland, Campbellville, and Cumberland. He went 6, 6 2/3, and 8. And hasn't given up a whole lot of runs. Another swing, a 2-0 hack from Malat, who hit the home run earlier today. That's the difference right now. A 2-0 lead for Indiana Tech, but more runners are on base for Darren Malat. He'll swing at the 2-1. Here is a chance at a double play. 4-6-3 on the big stretch at first by 10. He does the splits, and it helps out. Make sure they get the double play. 2 outs go up on the board. The runner moves over to third. And so a big double play on the home run hitter, Malat, and that will bring up Jack Ferguson for Indiana Tech. Can't ask for much better than that traditional double play. So being in the double play order in the previous at-bat led to a hit for Indiana Tech, but that time it works out perfectly. And there's a line drive, and the double play does have an impact because that ball goes just foul. I was going to get ready to say didn't matter much. A run still came across, but that one just goes foul. Cumberland faithful were holding their breath. If that one had dropped, it's a 3-0 ball game in the bottom of the third, and Ferguson will take his time walking back to the left-handed batter's box. He got a pull pitch, and he drove it. Just barely went foul. So just a long strike, the 0-1. Outside, they don't even go back on the inside this time. They're not going to let Ferguson beat him to the pole side. So 2 outs, runner at third, 1-1 the count. Swings, fouls it back, does Ferguson. Ferguson, a sophomore from Indianapolis. The 1-2. Sent to right field, coming in, and this is going to drop short of the right fielder, Wetchell. He couldn't get to it in time, and it is an RBI single for Ferguson. Indiana Tech gets a 3-0 lead. That is a big RBI hit. Just a blooper. It was up in the air. Seemed like it might have hung on long enough, but then it just shot down and onto the turf for a base knock for Ferguson. Indiana Tech, I guess the game plan after facing Wiley early in the season was when he threw for 5 innings and only gave up the 3 hits, it's swing often. Don't let him get to his junk. If you can hit fastballs, you got a chance to put the ball in play, and that's really what has happened. I can't think of many curveballs that Indiana Tech has hit today. It's 0-2 here early in this at-bat for Huerta. Wiley looking to get out of this inning, only giving up the 1 run. Outside, called a ball. It just missed the zone. Count goes to 1-2. Ground ball deep in the hole at short. Dal Nakawumi trying to use the turf to his advantage, but that one just a little bit too far in the hole to even do the Jeter on and get the throw over to first in time. So that advances the runner to second, puts another one at first, and will bring up Garrett Rainey. Rainey 0 for 1 today, flew out to center field back in the first inning. He was the final out in that first inning. Check swing back to Wiley. He'll field his position. PFP's coming through, and that's the third out. But Indiana Tech is able to get another run. It's 3-0. The bats in the dugout looking to heat up for Cumberland as they trail by 3. We'll be right back on SCSN. High fly ball to start off the top of the 4th inning from 10, and it was caught in foul territory by the left fielder, Miller. So if that's the first out here in the 4th, we're starting to feel a little similar to the game against Columbia. That was yesterday, where Cumberland just, the offense looks off. Not comfortable in the box so far against Stevens. Some undercut type of swings, and it's not the Cumberland offense that we're used to seeing, or the offense that we saw last night when their backs were against the wall. Indiana Tech has come out, played loose, and played like themselves. It almost feels like Cumberland is tight. They're not relaxed. They're not playing as themselves so far. Trying to find that opening in the early going. Still early enough in this game, plenty of time to find that offensive click. Missed time from Correa. He has that high leg kick to try and time out the pitcher, but with a little bit of timing change up by Stevens, he had to reset and he had to kind of force to take that pitch. He wasn't in a comfortable hitting position. 2-1. Pitch upstairs makes it 3-1. Stevens will have to battle back here after getting behind on Korea. He flew out to left field back in the second inning. Only one hit for Cumberland today. Called strike on the inside. Toshi thought it was ball 4. He has a quick conversation with the home plate umpire, gets the spot it was, and kind of shook his head, agreed, or at least understood. And so now we'll see a 3-2. Stevens versus Korea. Fouled back away. It's a countdown count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Stevens trying to win the early battle. Swung on and missed. Korea is going to strike out swinging. That's a big strikeout for Stevens. Third strikeout of the game. And that will bring up LaRue. Righty against the lefty. First pitch upstairs from Stevens. LaRue 0 for 1 today. Ground ball to second back in the second inning. Pitch on the inside. Misses, and it is 2-0. The 2-0. High in the air on the infield. Tracking is the third baseman, Hanna. He will make the play. Another 1-2-3 inning for Coley Stevens. He's feeling it coming off the mound for Indiana Tech. They have the 3-0 lead over Cumberland in an elimination game. We'll be right back on SESN. Welcome back. Quinlan Wiley getting back underway here in the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch called strike. He's going to face 8-9-1 in the order. There is some extremely light stirring. in the bullpen for Cumberland. 55 pitches for Quinlan. Pitch on the outside just missed. Count goes to 2-1 on Miller. Jaden 0 for 1 flew out to center field back in the second inning. The difference so far in this game, outside of course, the 3 runs, 8 hits for Indiana Tech. Cumberland only has 1 hit in this game. They have left 3 runners on base in the meantime. Indiana Tech has the 3 runs. They've left 4 on base. There's a line drive, hot shot to first, and 10 is there to make a nice play for the Cumberland Phoenix. He dove to his left, his glove side, and was able to get the glove on it. And that's the first out here in the 4th inning. On that line out, that will bring up the 9-hole hitter, Alex Watkins. You'll see a first pitch down low. Watkins this year batting .360. He's played in 43 games, has started 37 of them. 946 OBS. 41 hits on the year. Called strike makes it 1-1. We know we have one more game here today on SCSN. It is our last elimination game of the day. Ground ball foul to the third base side. That will be against Tennessee Wesleyan. The winner of this game will move on and face the #1 seed in Kingsport. One and 2 the count. Pitch down low. Count goes to 2-2 on Watkins. It's a team in Indiana Tech that were the runner-up in the season. As there's a strikeout on Watkins. That's a nice one for Wiley. He is the second strikeout of the game for Quinlan. I said runner-up. I meant to say they were an automatic bid by playing in the WAC conference tournament game, conference championship game. They ended up winning that. That's where I was trying to get to. They ended up winning that game against Northwestern Ohio. They had to beat them twice, 9-5 and 8-4. So this team knows what it's like to play backs against the wall ball. It was the second year in a row that Indiana Tech had won the WAC tournament. Both times they did it as a 3 seed. Line drive on the ground and picked up by 10. He makes 2 great plays in that inning. It's a 1-2-3 affair for Wiley. It is still 3-0 Warriors. Need the Cumberland Bats to come alive as we move to the 5th inning here on SCSN. We'll be right back after these messages.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet with just a few clicks.
Welcome back. Take a look at the scoreboard. As we move to the 5th inning, a lot of zeros for Cumberland. Only one hit against the pitcher, Coley Stevens. That's something that they want to see changed here. Eight hits, 3 runs for Indiana Tech as Stevens gets back to work here in the 5th inning. Through this game, Hassan is the one with the lone hit. He is 1 for 1 today with a base hit back up the middle. He'll send it a second shot to right field. This one will hang up just long enough for the right fielder, Ryberchek, to get over and track it down for the first out here in the 5th. And continuing to see Coley Stevens really put together a really strong start. Man wearing number 44 in orange for Indiana Tech. He will now face Dukeshire, the catcher for this team, but Coley has been good through the early part of this game, and take a look at his numbers here after this pitch fouled off. Coley wearing number 44, of course, for Indiana Tech, through 4 1/3. He's given up just the 1 hit, has 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. He has faced 16 batters, and he has thrown 57 pitches. Continuing to work against the bottom of the order. It was 7, 8, 9 due up, 8-hole hitter, and Trenton Dukeshire batting now for Cumberland. Trying to rally behind their offense. They just need to see something land. You know, oftentimes if you see something hit green, you feel a lot better in the dugout. You can see walks, you can see hit by pitches, but it's the confidence builder of seeing something find the gap, find a power alley. 2-0 the count on Dukeshire. Ground ball deep in the hole and short, kicked off of the foot of Morrison. I think this will go down as a hit on the sliding backhander. It is ruled a hit. So the second hit of the game is a ground ball to short that gets by the diving Morrison, and they will put a courtesy runner on. Ty Martin will run for the catcher, and that will bring up Javi Beal, the 9-hole hitter for Cumberland. And with less than 2 outs, a runner on base for Cumberland, looking to at least cut into the lead. There's a base knocked down into right field. First to third is going to go Ty Martin, and it is a perfectly executed first to third. Javi Beal, the lefty, shoots one out to right field, and Ryberchek was playing fairly deep, so really anything softly hit was going to land for a base knock, and it did. And the smart job there by Martin to go first to third immediately after coming in off the bench to pinch run. You'll see Stevens check it with double play in order, so if something comes back to him, checking to see who he's going with. But top of the order back up. The switch hitter, Dalton Nakawumi, will see a first pitch ball on the outside. And this is the first real threat that Cumberland has had to score here today. And you almost need to cash in on it. It feels like one of those games where runs are going to be at a premium in an elimination game. Take advantage of everything. You need to do a job here if you're Dalton Nakawumi. Whether that be a fly ball or getting a ground ball through the hole, the one thing you can't do is roll into that double play. And after a couple of balls that were missed a little bit more than we've seen from Stevens, that's going to bring out the head coach, Kip McWilliams, a rare head coach meeting. There's no action in the bullpen, so this is solely just a confidence-building meeting for Kip McWilliams and company. He brings in the whole infield, but he's really kind of only talking to the middle infielders and the pitcher, saying, hey, you got to roll it here. You can get a double play and get out of this inning without giving up a run. Cumberland, that's the one shortfall this year. They have grounded into 50 double plays as a team. a lot of them are just untimely double plays. So runners are at the corners here. First and third with one away. Leadoff man Dalton Nakawumi is batting, and Drew has a chance here to at least cut into the lead, if not get some more. Also, you got to think about if you're going to send Javi Beal in motion. Foul ball straight back. Thank you for the netting. Javi Beal has only attempted to steal twice. He's been thrown out one of those times. So not much of a threat to be put in motion here. 2-1. Swung on, missed. It's a foul into the glove, so it goes to 2-2. Cumberland looking for something to give. Runner 90 feet away with one out. Drew Dalton Nakawumi trying to do a job. The 2-2 from Stevens. Slice down the left field line and down. It's a fair ball. One run will score. Everybody else has to hold up. It's a base hit for Drew Dalton Nakawumi. And it is the first run of the game for the Cumberland offense that just needed something to give. We were just talking about it. If you can find that momentum and just have a couple of quick shots, find some green turf, you build that confidence up. You got back to the top of the order, and now you see Hunter Moser step in. 0 for 1 today. Also grounded into a fielder's choice. That's a foul ball. So 3-1 is our score here in the top of the 5th inning after the Dalton Nakawumi RBI single. Runners at first and second with one out. Force out everywhere on the infield. Moser will see a strike. Moser, of course, on the year, batting .345. He's been one of the best hitters for this Cumberland team. There aren't many better options to have up in a situation where you need a base knock. 0-2, though, has to protect the plate. And he does. Slicing hit to right field, then will be sent home by Coach Hunt. Throw is bobbled, and everybody else is able to move up. Aggressive base running from Cumberland. And on the base hit single, you will see Moser stretch a single and get to second on the bobble. They'll put an error on the right fielder for the bobble, so it is a base hit and then an error to advance the runners to second and third. So the RBI does count for that man right there, Hunter Moser, who ends up at second. That type of play that you need in a moment like that. Hunter Moser comes through. He had 2 strikes on him and still was able to battle through and get an RBI single, and then advances on a misplay in right field. And now that 3-0 lead is down to a 1-run lead here in the 5th of an elimination game. This is the type of baseball you ask for in the NAIA opening round, and you're getting it here on SCSN. 1-0 after the first pitch to Wetchell, and he takes a bad hack. He just didn't have a comfortable look at it, got a little confused on the pitch, maybe didn't see it well out of the hand and just took a weird hack. Luckily, it was just the first strike, so he's got 2 more to work if you're part of the Cumberland faithful. Man who hit 2 home runs last night. Sends a hard hit ball to right field. That one's down. 2 runs are going to come in, and that is going to give Cumberland the lead. The Phoenix have a 4 spot here in the 5th inning, and they have a 4-3 lead. And Coley Stevens just can't find an out. He got the first out this inning, and now a couple of hits in a row. 4 hits in a row. All of them are singles, but a couple of smart base running decisions lead to 4 runs on 4 straight singles. There's a high fly ball from 10. Giving chase after it is Miller, and he does have room. Almost ran into the fence, but the wind is, you can't tell with the flag, but the wind in the air up above the lights is pushing stuff to right field. So that ball might have gotten out on a humid, hot day, but with a little bit more of the wind today, it actually pushed it back, and Miller was able to make the play out in left field after running over to grab it in foul territory. So that's the second out. And it looks like Kip McWilliams has seen enough after the 4th spot. His senior, Coley Stevens, really did everything he could through the first 4 innings, but timing happened, and that is what led to Cumberland getting a couple of quick runs. And just like that, a 4th spot in the 5th inning is going to knock out Coley Stevens, and we will see a new arm come in from the Indiana Tech bullpen. We'll have more on that arm when we come back here on SCSN. Welcome back here, NAIA opening round in Kingsport, Tennessee. And when you need to stop the bleeding, this is the arm that you typically go to if you're Indiana Tech. It is Colton Leatherman. He is the reliever for this team, the 6'4 senior from Rockford, Michigan, a transfer from Grand Rapids Community College, a 1.94 ERA. He did pitch earlier this week. That was against Louisiana Christian on Monday. He pitched 3 innings in that game, got the save, had 5 strikeouts in that 3 innings, gave up just 2 hits, and now he is tasked with limiting the damage of Cumberland. He's a sidearmer, submariner from the right side, very difficult to pick up out of the hand, and he will be tasked with at least getting the last out here in the 5th inning, if not more. Talking to Coach McWilliams before the game, I mean, we ask about it as broadcasters, but we know the deal. All hands are on deck. It doesn't matter how many pitches you threw on Monday or how many pitches you threw yesterday. You are more than likely available if your number is called upon. There are very few circumstances where somebody isn't available in an elimination game. The 2-0 gets away and past the diving catcher Watkins. And so a runner will move up to second on the wild pitch. And Colton Leatherman can't seem to find the zone here coming out of the bullpen for the second time here in Kingsport. 3-0. The batter is Toshi Korea. There's a get-me-over strike, the side armor. Planson just delivers. He stays upright when he comes to the set, and then once he starts that motion, it just drops. A little off-speed pitch to get the second strike. And Colton Leatherman, Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference, on the second team for the conference. And that off-speed pitch, way ahead of it, was Korea. And Leatherman continues to work here after going down 3-0, battles back to 3-2, had the foul ball, 6-pitch at bat. High fly ball off of the bat of Korea. It will stay in the ballpark in left field, and it will be caught by Miller. But not before the Cumberland Phoenix get a couple of runs. They take the lead with a 4 spot here in the 5th inning. 4-3, an elimination game between the Warriors and the Phoenix. We'll be right back on SESN. Welcome back. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning here on SESN. Excited to have you along with us for this matchup between the Indiana Tech Warriors and the Cumberland Phoenix. It is a 4-3 ball game now. It is a new ball game after Indiana Tech led 3-0, and they had a 2-0 lead that started back in the first. A 4 spot in the top half of this inning for Cumberland, and suddenly Cumberland has a lead in this elimination game. While he's still on the mound here, he's through 4 innings of work. He's given up 8 hits, 3 runs. All of them have been earned. He's got just 2 strikeouts. One of those 8 hits was a home run, the 2-run variety, and he's done it on 69 pitches. A little more action down in the Cumberland bullpen. Not anything crazy, though. It seems like this is Wiley's game, especially now that he has a lead, and he's really limited Indiana Tech in the last part of this game. The 1-2 swung over top of by Morrison, and that is the first out here in this inning. Morrison retired after the strikeout, and that will bring up Bryson Hanna. Hardest part of the lineup to get through. 2, 3, 4, the most deadliest hitters in this Indiana Tech lineup, and they get through the first one with a strikeout. Now Bryson Hanna steps up, and Wiley will deliver the first pitch on the outside for a called strike. Cumberland, a team letting opponents this year only hitting a 267 against them. Another swing and a miss. The difference today, Indiana Tech 8 for 20 through the first part of this game, meaning they're batting .400 against Wiley. Another swing and a miss, back-to-back strikeouts for Quinlan, and that is the second out here in this 5th inning. after getting the lead. This is exactly the type of pitching you need from your starter. You give him the lead, go out and shut him down. Now he has the most difficult at bat here with Jordan Malott, who hit the 2-run homer back in the first inning. And then he grounded into a double play in the third. Malott crushed that ball to left field. Really set the tone for this game. Back upstairs. You're talking about what teams are hitting. As a team stat, the squad's hitting 267 against Cumberland. But against Wiley himself, team's just hitting 247. Pitch down low. 2-1 in the count on Malott. You don't want to throw anything too close to the zone. You don't want to allow Malott to be the one to beat you, but also don't want to put him on base. That pitch spiked 50 feet in the dirt. 3-1 the count. On the inside, that's a walk. So realistically, not the worst case scenario. It put Malott on base. The problem behind it is here comes Jack Ferguson, who's 2 for 2 today. He has had Wiley's number. And now he bats from the left side. Now he has to face the lefty. He'll swing at the first offering and foul it straight back. Had that hit back in the first to right field, and then in the third, he also had a hit to right field, but that got the RBI with it. That was what made it 3-0 at the time. And as of right now, that's a huge play because now it's only a 1-run game after the 4th spot in the 5th. When it comes to the set, runner at first, 2 outs. Pitch just missed. Count goes to 1-1. That was the 80th pitch of the game for Quinlan. And bullpen starts to get a little bit more active for Cumberland. It's Kyle Nyblad warming up. A pitch down low again. Count goes to 2-1. Blue skies here in Kingsport, Tennessee. The 2-1. High in the air to right field again for Ferguson, but this time it will be caught by the right fielder, Wetchell. That's the first time they've been able to retire Ferguson today, and it comes at a nice time to do so. 1-2, a base or a walk, and then a final out for the third, and it takes us to the 6th inning here on SCSN. Not much more you can ask for if you're Cumberland to come out and silence the heart of the order. We go to the 6th. Our score 4-3 Phoenix. Welcome back here on SCSN. I was going to go to the Ave Maria and Reinhardt game, but it looks like they are in commercial break. Oh, they just came back. Perfect timing. There's a look at what's happening in Waleska. Gabe Schrei there on the call for SCSN. We got a couple of games here on SCSN this week, the Waleska bracket as well as the Kingsport bracket. It looks like it's 10-2. Reinhardt, they're taking the beating right now. There's a first out here in Kingsport to make it a 1 out, a 1-pitch swing from LaRue, and Leatherman gets the first out. But 10-2, Ave Maria in front over the Eagles. Here it's 4-3 in the top of the 6th. At Hunter Wright Stadium, Colton Leatherman has come in relief of the starter today, Coley Stevens. The side armor kind of can wreak some havoc. Got the last out in the 5th inning to stop Cumberland's scoring. Two and 0. This is the one area Leatherman has kind of struggled with a little bit. He's been a little bit wild here in Kingsport. Slicing down the first base side. Nice play over on the far side by Coach. I believe that's Pat Bell. I would assume so. Pat recently got his sports administration degree from Louisville. Side armor has to throw the sidearm to first on the swinging bunt, and it is the second out. Nice play by Colton Leatherman to get the second out of the game, and a good help there by Jordan Malott to finish that one off. It was right on the third base line in front of home plate. Colton Leatherman had to hop off the mound. That's a really hard spot to go for a pitcher to field the ball and make a play. When you're a righty, you're falling off to the first base side, so you really have to stop your momentum and shift it to go the other way. And he did just that, and then everybody, when they field that ball, ends up throwing it sidearm anyway, but that's just natural for Colton to throw that ball from the side to get it out a little bit more quickly. There's a high fly ball, and this is going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Colton Leatherman with Ferguson underneath it. He'll make the catch. Leatherman does exactly what he's supposed to here in the 6th inning. He limits anything for the Cumberland Phoenix to get going, and we head to the bottom of the 6th. Indiana Tech trailing by a run.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet with just a few clicks.
Welcome back, Kingsport, Tennessee. It's the 2025 NAIA Baseball opening round. Here's a cool little look. Matt Kibbe with you here on SESN, but this is the graphic from the NAIA. Every team that has made the NAIA opening round, well, a couple of them have been eliminated up to this point. We are on Wednesday. There's some championships being played today where weather didn't have a factor. Some of them got moved to tomorrow. That's the situation here in Kingsport. But yeah, that's the graphic. I can also show you this one just to show you what we got. That's the softball teams. Those are all the softball teams that made it into the NAIA opening round softball tournament. That's also happening this week. But yeah, that's what's going on around the NAIA in the stick and ball sports of baseball and softball. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning here on SESN. 4-3 is our score. Indiana Tech looking to get that run back that they need to tie this one up. Wiley's still throwing here for this Phoenix team, the Mid-South second teamer from East Georgia State. He has thrown through 5 innings, gave up 8 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 1 walk, 4 hits. There's a ground ball to third, and it's going to go right under the glove of Hassan. A rare miscue from the third baseman, Hassan, and an error on the third baseman puts the runner at first. Huerta could have probably gotten to second because it ended up having to be the shortstop, Dal Nakawumi, to go and grab that ball. The left fielder, LaRue, was just too far away, a little shifted towards center field and not able to get back in time. So the runner ends up staying at third, or at first, I should say. And actually, they're going to rule it as a hit, not an error. So Hassan kind of gets a favorable score from the official score downstairs. But in the grand scheme of things, it really kind of was an error. A miscue on the field, and now the bunt is going to be fielded by Wiley, and he'll get the out at first. Runner moves up to second. So instead of 2 outs and nobody on, it's 1 out and a runner at second for Indiana Tech.
Now batting left fielder number 7, Jaden Miller.
And that will bring up the 8-hole spot, and Jaden Miller, all right, wearing number 7 in orange for the Warriors. Swings at the first pitch, rolled over to short. Dal Nakawumi throw over to first in time for the put out. The natural center fielder playing out of position at shortstop makes a nice play with a strong arm and a strong throw to get Jaden Miller. He's been good in that shortstop position. You know, makes a ton of crazy plays on the field. The one area that he struggled with, he has a lot of errors, but talking to the Cumberland radio guys, Randy and Chris, it seems like it's more throwing errors than anything. And that's the hardest thing to do at short, is make that throw across the diamond. First pitch down low. But we've seen his range. That Drew, I'm talking about at short. He's been so good just in Kingsport alone, doing everything he can. You can see him kind of deep in that hole right now, but he has a wide range, and that's where that center field speed kind of comes into play at short. The 1-0 makes it 1-1 from Wiley, and it's a nice luxury to have when you're able to play really any position. Naturally an outfielder, but there was a void at short, and he fit the mold. So he took over, and he's been doing everything he can in that spot. 1-1, gets away and hits off of Dukeshire. Rounding third hard is Huerta, and he will stay at third. So runner moves 90 feet away after the pass ball. Makes it 2-1 with 2 outs up on the board. So runner moves 90 feet away, and the batter now is Watkins, the 9-hole hitter, looking to potentially tie this game back up. The 2-1. Swung on and missed. Count goes to 2-2. Big moment in this game. Tying runs 90 feet away in the bottom of the 6th inning. Quinlan comes to the set, delivers, swung on and missed. A strikeout with the tying run standing at third. And Cumberland gets out of the 6th inning jam. Riley does exactly what he's supposed to do. He gets his 5th strikeout in the game on 90 pitches. In an elimination game, up by 1. We head to the 7th on SCSN. Welcome back. We move to the 7th. Here on SESN. Colton Leatherman still on the mound. First swing in the 7th inning is a ground ball to short, picked up there by Morrison, a throw out of Javi Beal, and the top of the order will come up here in the 7th inning of a now 4-3 game. Cumberland was held scoreless and only had a hit going into the 5th inning, and then a 4 spot there to build everything back up and take the lead. First pitch from Leatherman is a called strike on Drew Dalton-Akawumi. There's a surprise bunt, a little bit of a drag bunt. Hanna has to make a play, and he does! Bryson Hanna over at third went down the line on the surprise bunt, and he fielded it perfectly on the line, and in one swift motion picked up the ball, underhand threw across his body back to first, and Malat was there to make the stretch, and that retires Dalton Akawumi for the second out here in this 7th inning. Well, when you're in a one-run game, you need your defense to step up, and that's certainly what Indiana Tech has gotten, especially bringing in Colton Leatherman, one of their best relief pitchers. I would argue their best relief pitcher, of course, with that 1.94 ERA. But he's done what he can, and then he relies on his defense behind him. He will give up some contact. Yeah, it's off of the weird arm slot, but he does it again. Another 1-2-3 inning for Colton Leatherman. He has come in and really shut Cumberland down through his 2 1/3 innings of work. It is a couple of 1-2-3 innings back to back, and that is exactly what we want. 7 in a row retired by Colton Leatherman since the Phoenix took the lead back in the 5th inning. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Our score 4-3 between the Warriors and the Phoenix.
It all began in 1937. A vision to start something different, something better. A college athletics association where competition wasn't just about the scoreboard, but about character, growth, and rising together. From that first tip-off, the NAIA has grown in size and in spirit, in the way we play, the way we lead, the way we make athletics greater than a game.
This is college athletics the way it was meant to be. This is the right way to play.
Welcome back. There's a look at our scoreboard. Bottom of the 7th, 4 runs on 6 hits for the Phoenix, 3 runs on 9 hits. There is an error. I would argue there should also be an error on Cumberland, but the official score made that decision, not us up here in the booth. So bottom of the 7th here for Indiana Tech, and they are trailing by a run. They will have the top of the order up, Ryberchek, Morrison, Hanna, and they will go up against the Seventh inning pitcher now, Quinlan Wiley, who has been working hard after giving up the 3 runs early, really has settled in, has had 3 straight scoreless innings. Through 6 innings, has the 9 hits, given up just the 3 runs, 5 strikeouts. Has 92 pitches. Another pitch down low, it's 2-1. Phoenix up 4-3. This is an elimination game. The winner will face Tennessee Wesleyan right after. They have the game here has a straight doubleheader. Tennessee Wesleyan, of course, gets the game off in between after starting us off here today. Originally, today would have been an elimination game and then the start of the championship game. Thursday would have been reserved for an if necessary game. But due to our weather, we had one game start us off on Monday. We were able to get one in, and then we were not able to get the rest in. It was supposed to be a 3-game day. That got pushed back. So we had a 3-game day yesterday, but it was originally supposed to be a 4-game day. And then that 4-game day, that last game, because of a delay in the middle, got pushed to today. So that pushed a 3-game day to today. So back-to-back 3-day games on what was originally supposed to just be a doubleheader in the start of our championship. Instead, there's a pickoff attempt. You get a good look at it there from our PTZ. Bradley operating that for us right now, doing a great job, as always. We've had some terrific help from the Visit Kingsport staff here on SCSN. They do a great job putting on these events. Lucky to be a part of the Visit Kingsport family here in Kingsport, Tennessee. Drag bunt down the first base line, and it is an out. You'll actually see Morrison completely stop. He didn't want to give up the tag and wanted to make sure that his counterpart, Ryberchek, got over to second, and he did. And so now he stands at second, down by a run, and that was the sacrificial bunt to bring up the big bat, and Bryson Hanna with Jeremy Lott standing on deck. Hardest part of the order to get through, and it looks like here comes Coach Ryan Hunt, and he knows that this is the most difficult part of the lineup to get through. The 3-4 hitters, and this might be the end of Wiley's day, and if it is, he bounced back incredibly well after giving up the home run back in the first inning. But it could just be Coach Hunt, of course, in his 4th season, having a conversation, seeing what his coach or his senior pitcher feels like. And it looks like Wiley has won the argument to stay out in this game. Coach Hunt wanted to come out and have that conversation himself. He's got 2 arms getting loose in the bullpen. And Quinlan Wiley says, "This is my game. Let me go. I can get out of this jam." He's got a 1-run lead, and he will face Bryson Hanna, who on the year has been one of the best hitters in not only the WAC, but also in the country. A 354 hitter. He swings at the first pitch. Back up the middle. Bobbled by Dalton Nakawumi, but he throws it. Tag! Yes, he got it! Oh my, what a tag by Wilson 10. It was up in the air. A wild throw from Dalton Nakawumi. 10 grabbed it up in the air, jumped up, and reached behind his back to tag Hanna. And oh my, what a play by Willer 10, the junior from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. And that is going to bring out Kip McWilliams to have a conversation with the first base umpire and to make sure, maybe bring the other umpires in. Really, the only one that would have had an actual view of it would have been the home plate umpire in this case. Kip McWilliams having that conversation with the first base umpire. We have 7 fantastic umpires here this week. I don't have the assignment for them here in this game, so bear with me on that. But we've had really good umpire crews all week, making some good calls. And Kip McWilliams seems maybe not satisfied with the call, but enough where he's able to walk away, and no meeting between the coaches or between the umpires here. But after the shaky play, the runner does advance to third. Jordan Malott is on deck. He was on deck. Now he's coming up to bat, and because of that, we will see a call to the bullpen. Quentin Wiley does exactly what he is supposed to after giving up the 2-run home run. And the senior will give a big hug to his catcher. And he will get a huge round of applause. He comes out with the lead in the bottom of the 7th inning, and a new pitcher will come on for the Cumberland Phoenix. Wiley gets through it, and we will step aside for a break here. And when we come back, we'll have more on the new pitcher for Cumberland. It's 4-3. Tying run 90 feet away, and the big man, Jordan Malott, coming up to bat. We'll be right back on SCSN. New pitcher on the mound for Cumberland. The Phoenix have a 1-run lead, and they are going to go to the man who wears number 17, the graduate senior, Kyle Nyblood, the transfer from Everett Community College from Arlington, Washington. He comes in this year mostly and really exclusively out of the bullpen. Nyblood has made 21 appearances. Only one of them starts. He's pitched in 32 2/3 innings this year and has a 4.96 ERA. And in those 32 2/3 innings, he has struck out 27 batters. First pitch to Malott is fouled off. This is the hardest out to get in this lineup because of how dangerous this bat is. We saw the home run back in the first inning, a moonshot to left field, and now with the tying run 90 feet away, the benefit, there are 2 outs, so the infield doesn't have to worry about that run. They can play back and play comfortable. There's a second pitch strike from Nyblood, and it is 0-2 quickly on Jaron Malott. 4-3 is our score. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Nyblood comes to the set. Ground ball fielded by the third baseman and thrown over to first in time for the putout. Nyblood does exactly what he's supposed to do and retires Malott with a ground ball to third that Hassan was able to field cleanly heading towards first and make the throw. And the tying run is stranded 90 feet away for the Warriors. We head to the 8th inning. Our score 4-3 on SCSN.
Come on.
Couple of fans using the umbrellas for some shade here on SCSN in Kingsport, Tennessee. If you're just tuning in, we've had a heck of an elimination game here in our second game of the day between the Cumberland Phoenix and the Indiana Tech Warriors. It was a game that started off in the bottom of the first inning with a 2-run homer from Jordan Malott, and then bottom of the third, Jake Ferguson singled in Morrison for a 3-0 lead, and then in the top of the fifth, Cumberland gets 4 runs. And that is what gives them the lead. It was 4 straight singles that led to the 4 runs. And then Colton Leatherman came in and he has slammed the door. 7 in a row retired by Leatherman since entering this game in the 5th inning. He got the last out of the 5th and then has gone 1, 2, 3 in the 6th and the 7th. He is at 22 pitches so far here in this relief appearance. He also pitched on Monday in the first game of the Kingsport bracket. The 1-1 from Leatherman. Slice to left field, and it will be foul, so 1-2 on Wetzel, who is batting today 1 for 3. He singled in the 5th. That was a 2 RBI single. And the 1-2 swung on and missed. Leatherman lights out 8 in a row after coming into this game out of the bullpen in the 5th inning. 10 will come up. Wilser 10, the first teamer in the Mid-South Conference. Now going up against the righty submarine pitcher Leatherman. First pitch, a called strike. Another pitch on the inside, just missed, 1-1. An account as Colton Leatherman continues to work here in the 8th inning, doing everything he can to keep his team in this game. They trail by a run. Defense has come through a couple of times here since giving up the lead. That one misses, 2-1. Leatherman has been so good all year long. He's been trusted in situations like this. Of course, the last time he pitched was against Louisiana Christian, but before that, he pitched in the championship against Northwestern Ohio. He went an inning and a third in that one, and a rare moment where he gave up 2 runs. Hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs all year long, and there's a big swing from 10 and a miss to make it 3-2. He did give up 3 earned runs twice this year. He's played and pitched in a ton of action. The 3-2. Outside, just missed. There's a walk, and it's the first man not retired by Colton Leatherman since coming out of the bullpen. It's a walk on the full count, and that will put Wilser 10 over at first, and he'll get a pinch runner here with Chris Malon. Milan is a transfer from Barry University in his sophomore season. And that will bring up Toshi Korea. Toshi 0 for 3 here today. Back pick over to first, nothing going. Leatherman, outside of that 1 walk, has the 1 strikeout in 2 1/3. He's got 30 pitches now. I want to double check it, but I'm pretty sure off the top of my head he had about 35 in that game on Monday. That was a 3-inning save, the rare 3-inning save. Leatherman will come to the set, 0-1 on Korea. Another pick over to first. This one a little bit closer than the previous ones, but still not there in time. Go to the 0-1. The pitch will come in this time. It is a called strike on the outside, crosses right over the plate. It's a pitch that comes out of the hand, and for these righties especially, it looks like it's coming from behind you. So you really got to stay in. You can't shy away from the inside pitch. There's another pitch on the outside. Looked like it was in the same spot, except that one just missed. And it's 1-2. Another pickoff over to third. This one's going to get away. So an error on Colton Leatherman is going to put a runner in scoring position with 1 out. And Toshi Korea's got 2 strikes on him. It's a 1-2 count when we get back going. Leatherman, he'd been getting closer and closer and closer, but it allowed a ball to get away from Malott. And that means the runner is able to advance to second now with 1 out. Leatherman in on the hands, picked up by Malott. This will advance the runner to third. And so Korea does a job to at least get the runner 90 feet more. And Malott does a nice job making the play over at first to get that out. It was in on the hands, and it just a jam shot that Korea couldn't get around in time, so it just ends up dribbling over to first. And now Leatherman will have to face the lefty and Dylan LaRue. LaRue batting .290 on the year. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it off. Looks like it hit off the umpire's mask. After the 0-0 offering, count moves to a strike. Runner 90 feet away at third. Dylan LaRue batting. Pitch upstairs. This would be a big spot for Leatherman to get out. Indiana Tech, of course, going to start getting some action down in the bullpen as that pitch count goes up, but you're in an elimination game. All hands are on deck. 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. It's one of those games where, especially for the losing team, you kind of just do whatever you need to win, and then you have a little bit of pitching chaos in the next game where you figure out what you can do and how it works. The 1-2 from Leatherman. Line drive, base hit. Some insurance for Cumberland, and that's a RBI single for Dylan LaRue that scores the pinch runner Malon, and it's 5-3 here on SESN.
Now batting, third baseman 45, James Housen.
And there's still 2 outs. That is the first run that Leatherman has given up in the postseason here in Kingsport. Part of that, he'd only given up 2 hits. He struck out 5 in 3 innings of work. .5-3 the score now. Just trying to get out of the inning. Swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-1 on Hostin, the third baseman, and the 7-hole hitter for Cumberland. Foul off of the shin, and we will see the count go to 1-2. That's a huge at-bat by LaRue. That was his first hit of the day, and couldn't come at a better time. Get some insurance. A little bit of a cushion. 2-run lead now for the Phoenix, and the Warriors. Mountain just gets a little bit steeper. Swung on and missed. Strike 3 for Leatherman. He gets out of the jam, but a run does come across for the Cumberland Phoenix. It's 5-3. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Offense looking to come out for the Warriors here on SESN. Welcome back here on SCSN. Couple of crooked numbers. Both teams have scored in 2 innings, but the difference is Cumberland scored 4 in the 5th and then just added 1 here in the top of the 8th. And now we move to the bottom of the 8th inning here on SCSN. Excited to have you along with us here. Matt Kibbe with you on the broadcast, and of course we got the Cumberland faithful tuned into their radio and watching our video, so thank you for being a part of that, even though you can't hear me right now. 5-3 is our score. First pitch strike from Nyblood, who is coming to relief, got the last out of the inning. It was a big out, Jordan Malott, and now he faces one of the best hitters as well in this lineup, Jack Ferguson, who is 2 for 3. He swings and fouls one off of the ankle. He's feeling it a little bit, taking a walk around the mound, around the home plate area. Nyblood's taking a walk around the mound. Ferguson will reset in the box. Nyblood last pitched, mentioned it earlier, against Cumberland from Kentucky, University of the Cumberlands. 3 innings pitched in that game, gave up 2 runs. They were both earned. Had a walk and 3 strikeouts in that game. 1-2 the count on Ferguson. High fly ball from Ferguson. Somebody's got to track it. Third baseman can't see it. It's way beyond him, and coming in to make the play is LaRue. Great job by the left fielder to recognize where that ball was at. Coming in, he saw it all the way off the bat and made a nice play. Number 23 out and left for Cumberland. And that is a big play. First out of the inning for Kyle Nyblood. And he is through 2/3 of an inning with 7 pitches. Huerta is 3 for 3 today. First pitch misses. Tennessee Wesleyan, just looking down in the hitting area here at Hunter Wright Stadium, has arrived. They're getting ready for their elimination game up next against the winner of this game. Another pitch misses. It's 2-0. Nyblood will come to the set after getting the sign. Strike back in the middle of the plate. 2-1 the count on Huerta. Two-one. Pitch on the inside misses. It's 3-1 on the designated hitter today, who is 3 for 3. Fouled off. 3-2 the count. Huerta has had a good year. Now he's in a battle. Batting .282 on the year. 3-2. Back up the middle. Base hit. That will get a runner on. Exactly what Indiana Techs need. Doing it in the 8th inning here. They got 5 outs to work with to get 2 runs in an elimination game against the Phoenix. And that is a runner at first with 1 away, so that means Garrett Rainey potentially could move the runner over, but then you have 2 outs with a runner at second. Again, a base hit would score. I mean, you cut the lead back down to 1. See what the decision is for Coach McWilliams and company. Rainey looks to take the first pitch strike, but we often see that sometimes too. They might still have the sack bunt on, but they wanted to make the pitcher work and get a strike before laying that bunt down. Nyblood executes that first pitch strike. The 0-1. Rainey will swing back up the middle. Diving and out of the outstretched glove of Dalton Akawumi. Back-to-back hits puts runners at first and second, so no sacrifice needed with the runner moving to second on the base knock. And it is Jaden Miller who will step up to bat, and Miller is 0 for 3 today. Tying run is at first here in the 8th inning. Strike from Nyblood. .511 graduate student on the mound. The 0-1. Thought about it, but it missed anyway. Ball 1. 1-1 the count, 1 out. Runners at first and second. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning of a 2-run ball game. It is 5-3 here, an elimination game. Winner of this game survives, keeps their season alive, and will face Tennessee Wesleyan tonight. The 1-1. Fouled away. 1-2 the count on Jaden Miller. Fly ball to center in the second. A line out to first on a great play that was made by Wilser 10. And then a ground ball to short in the 6th. Jaden Miller against Kyle Nyblood. The 1-2 from Nyblood. Swung on and missed. A strikeout. For the second out of the inning, Nyblood does exactly what he's supposed to. After back-to-back singles up the middle, he goes right after Miller, strikes him out, and that will bring up the 9-hole hitter, Adam Watkins. And instead of Alex coming up, we will see a pinch hitter step up to the dish, and it looks like it is going to be number 32, Ben Haman. Haman batting .233 on the year. Looking for his big moment here in the postseason. First pitch from Nyblood. Called strike. Here is the man in number 32, Ben Haman, who is looking at his first at-bat this postseason. His last game came against Northwestern Ohio. He gets the big at-bat here in the 8th inning. He played in that game against Northwestern Ohio, but his last at-bat came on 4/26 against Concordia, Michigan. He was 0 for 3 in that game. 1-1. Check swing upstairs. No on the appeal, says the umpire. Runner at first is Rainey. The runner at second is Huerta. Pinch hitter in for Alex Watkins. It's Ben Haman. Down low in the dirt. Count goes to 3-1. Third base is unoccupied. You still have a force out everywhere. There's always, if there's runners at second and third and first base open, we often talk about first base is open. Well, this is the same situation. Third base is open. It's not going to score a run if you walk them, but you want to get the out, of course. Pitch on the outside, and it will be ball 4. So Haman has walked, and it is bases loaded now for the top of the order. That's a good at-bat from the pinch hitter. See if we'll see another pinch hitter. Coach McWilliams will come back out, have a conversation with the home plate umpire. That will lead to a mound visit as well for the Phoenix, and this is the best chance that Indiana Tech has had to tie this game back up. They gave up the 1 run in the top half of this inning, and now in a 5-3 ball game, we'll see what works. It looks like there is a runner coming in. It's Jacoby Robertson the junior from Edwardsville, Illinois. He is going to run at first for the then pitch hitter. Now he gets a runner, so pinch runner for the pinch hitter. And that will burn Haman, who did his job to get on base and extend the inning with 2 outs. So the bases are loaded. 5-3 is our score. And Logan Ryberchek is the batter. He is 1 for 3 today with a walk. That hit came all the way back in the first inning. Now he has a chance to tie this game up with a base hit. Pitch down low. Ryberchek sees the ball 1-0 from Nyblood. The pitcher warming up for the Phoenix is Grayson Cole in the bullpen. And there's going to be a meeting on the mound after the first pitch ball just to give Grayson Cole a little bit more time to warm up, but also to calm the nerves of Nyblood. Of course, he's been in these moments. He's a graduate student, a transfer from Everett Community College. Stands at 5'11". He's been in these situations before, knows how to fight through them. But this is the biggest moment and the biggest stage that he has been on. 1-0 the count after the mound visit. Bases are loaded for Nyblood. Ryberchek is the batter. Indiana Tech is 2 for 11 today with runners in scoring position. They are 5 for 12 with 2 outs. Something has to give, one way or another. After the mound visit, the 1-0. Catches the outside corner for a strike. It's 1-1. Biggest moment of this game so far. It's the bottom of the 8th inning. High fly ball to center field, and Nyblood might have gotten out of this jam. He does. It's caught by Martin out in center field for Cumberland, and Nyblood gets out of the bases loaded 2-out jam without surrendering a single run. It is 5-3 here on SESN, and that is the best thing you could have happen if you are the Phoenix. Now looking for some more insurance and to slam the door in the 9th inning for a date with Tennessee Wesleyan. We'll be right back. It's the NAIA opening round from Kingsport, Tennessee, only on SESN. So there is some action in the bullpen, but we will still see Colton Leatherman on the mound. Danny May is the one warming up in the bullpen on that third base side. Leatherman will face 8-9-1. That are the scheduled hitters here due up in the 9th inning. We are in the top of the 9th here on SESN. First pitch swinging was Dukeshire. 5-3 is our score in an elimination game. Loser goes home. Winner faces the number 1 seed here in Kingsport, Tennessee Wesleyan next on SESN. There's a foul ball again by Dukeshire, and it is 0-2. Leatherman trying to continue his impressive stretch. Only gave up the 1 run. That was an inning ago, but it was a big one. It gave Cumberland a 2-run lead. There's a fly ball to the left center field gap, running after it and sliding out and sprawling with a little bit of an ice cream cone. That was Rainey, and Garrett Rainey gets the first out here in the ninth. The center fielder was sprawling all over the place, and he was able to make the dive and hang on to it. That's the more impressive thing, is as he made contact with the ground, that ball started to bobble a little bit, and he was able to hang on to it and make the play. A great job by Garrett Rainey. There is one out here in the top of the ninth inning. Another first pitch strike, this time to the lefty Javier Beal from Leatherman. Colton, of course, a transfer from Grand Rapids Community College, one of the best JUCO programs in the state of Michigan. That pitch misses. It's a ball, 1-1. Here on SCSN. There's a high fly ball from Beal. It's trailing towards the right field bullpen, and it does end up going into the bullpen. Good chase by Ryberchek, but it just went out a little bit too far, and he couldn't get to it. He tried sliding into the fence, but he wasn't there in quite the time. One and two. Swung on and missed. Colton Leatherman gets another strikeout. He's done a great job outside of the one hiccup of silencing Cumberland and keeping the Warriors in this game. Leatherman, with the bullpen continuing to get warm, he will face the top of the order. Drew Dalton Akawumi will step in, the switch hitter. That's from the left side against the righty. First pitch swinging is Akawumi, and he will foul it straight back. 0-1 the count. Looking for some insurance here in the ninth are the Phoenix. But Indiana Tech trying to keep it as close as they can to set up the heroics in the ninth. Pitch misses on the outside. 1-1 the count. Tennessee Wesleyan looms. Base hit back up the middle. That's a two-out single from Dalton Akawumi, and it's the 8th hit of the game for the Phoenix. Another two-out hit as well, and that will bring up Hunter Moser.
Now batting right fielder number 28, Hunter Moser.
He moved from center field to right field. And it's a dead ball that hit Moser. And there was a defensive change earlier in the inning. Martin, that's Ty Martin, came in to play center field. So they moved Moser over to right and then had Martin in center field. It was a defensive change, but now Preston Wetchell, with a chance to get some more insurance, is going to get another at-bat. He will re-enter into his spot, and the lefty against the righty will have a chance to add some insurance. So that defensive change will be switched out again, and Wetchell will swing at the first pitch. Foul ball just to the right of first base. There is runners at first and second. It's a lot of speed on the base pass as well. And Wetchell, with that big right-handed bat, or that big left-handed bat, I should say, hit two towering shots to right field yesterday, and you'd love to see him connect with one again if you're part of the Phoenix faithful. Runners at first and second, 0-1. Leatherman fools him with an off-speed pitch upstairs. Wetchell swings out of his shoes, and it's 0-2. Trying to take advantage of the aggressiveness are the Warriors. 0-2, Leatherman trying to get out of the jam. High fly ball sent to right field, giving chase. Going back after it is Ryberchek, and it's gone! A 3-run homer to add some insurance for Preston Wetchell. It's his second straight game with a home run, and none have been bigger than that one to make it 8-3 in an elimination game. 2-run lead goes to 5, and Colton Leatherman is in disbelief. Preston Wetchell re-enters in the top of the 9th inning for that at-bat, and he delivers. Wow, what a shot from Preston Wetchell, the senior from Cartersville, Georgia. And that is going to force Kip McWilliams to make a change on the mound. And as he does so, we will take a break and have that change for you here in a moment. Preston Wetchell, the big home run, makes it an 8-3 game here on SESN. We'll be right back. So Danny May will come in on the mound, and there we go. We got the track in on the on-deck hitter. Matt Kibbe with you here on SESN. That is Toshi Korea. New pitcher for the Warriors is Danny May, like I mentioned. He comes in relief of Colton Leatherman. His first pitch to 10 is upstairs. May, 16 appearances, all of them out of the bullpen, 28 in the third innings pitched, 3.18 ERA. His job is to get out of the ninth. It's a 5-run advantage now for Cumberland. High sky infield fly, and it is caught by the shortstop Morrison, and now Indiana Tech is going to have to dig deep and find some offense here as we move to the bottom of the 9th inning, trying to avoid elimination. The final at-bat for Indiana Tech here on SESN. Well, all good vibes in that Phoenix dugout on that first base side after the huge home run by Preston Wetchell to make it an 8-3 ball game here in an elimination game between the Warriors and the Phoenix. The winner of this game will get about an hour off, and they will have to face Tennessee Wesleyan in an elimination game as well. It's the disadvantage of being in that loser side of the bracket. Once you get that loss in a double elimination style, you're really fighting against all odds to get back in and fight for that championship. Tennessee Wesleyan was the one that really almost in a way got upset earlier today. That was against Columbia College. They have a spot in the championship. Their day is done. They wait for the winner of tonight's matchup. Nyblood is going to stay out for the bottom of the ninth with a 5-run lead, and he will be facing the heart of the order. Morrison, Hanna, and Malat will all come up here in this ninth inning. Warriors trailing by 5, needing to get base runners and some scoring done here. They have not scored since the 3rd inning. The pitching staff for Cumberland has really put together some effective speed differential with their off speed and their fastballs. It was Nyblood, but before that, it was Quinlan Wiley who really settled in after giving up the early runs. Ground ball to Dalton Akawumi, and he will throw over in another stretch with a little bit of help from Wilser 10. He finishes the putout, and that's a great job by the man wearing number 8, the 6'2 junior for the Cumberland Phoenix. He helps out with that first out with the assist from Dalton Akawumi, and that will bring up the 3-hole hitter, Bryson Hanna, who has been pretty good in this postseason. Now he's looking to continue that streak, batting .354 on the year. He was 3 for 5 against Louisiana Christian, and he'll add another hit here today. He's now 2 for 5 in this game. Tennessee Wesleyan held him hitless, though. But that's a big hit in the 9th inning to get the first base runner on, and that is Bryson Hanna, who stands at first. Wonder if we'll see a runner for him. Maybe wait until he gets into scoring position where that run matters a little bit more. Trailing by 5, just want to get runners on. And now Jeremy Malott will bat here in the 9th inning against Nyblood. He'll see a first pitch strike on the outside corner, and it is called that way. Malott had the walk in the 5th, and then the big ground out in the 7th with the bases loaded. Outside of that, it's got the home run. The 0-1. Called strike on the corner again. Malott takes a stroll around home plate. Reeling everything backing in. Ever hear the phrase clear the mechanism? That's essentially what he's doing here. If you can name that movie, get an SCSN spotlight. 0-2 on Malott with a runner at first. Swung on and missed right into the glove of Dukeshire, and that is a huge second out for the Phoenix. With their 5-run lead, now Indiana Tech is down to their final out, and it will be Jack Ferguson coming up to bat. 2 for 4 today, but has not gotten a hit since his RBI single back in the 3rd. He faces Nyblood. Cumberland trying to keep their season alive. First pitch, swung on and missed. A big swing by Ferguson. 8 runs on 9 hits, no errors for the Phoenix. 3 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for the Warriors. Bottom of the 9th inning, there are 2 outs. 1 strike on Ferguson. Nyblood comes to the stretch with the runner at first. And there's a stretch, a 2-out single will drop for Ferguson. He is 3 for 5, and that will put runners at first and second. Warriors stay alive. Wouldn't be right if they didn't have the fight of a Warrior here in their last chance to at least force extras. They need 5 runs to do it, and now they will have the designated hitter who has been incredible at the dish. 4 for 4 today is Luke Hurita. Runners at first and second. The infield will stay back. Essentially saying that, and the case is true, those runs don't matter. If they were to advance to second and third, which I'm actually kind of surprised that you haven't seen Indiana Tech just take second and third and get into scoring position. Huerta swings over top of the 0-1 delivery, and it's 0-2. Indiana Tech is down to their final strike. Kyle Nyblood will come to the set in his third inning of work. And it just missed, 1-2. Huerta, 1-2, final strike. And Huerta keeps it alive. Base hit back up the middle, and they'll go station to station. Don't want to have the last out be anywhere on the base pass, so they will just play it safe. Everybody will move up, and the bases will be loaded with 2 outs. And now Rainey is the scheduled hitter. He does have the bat. He will come up. Got a hit back in the 8th, and Nyblood will battle. So this is not the tying run with the bases loaded. 5-run lead. Rainey has hit 4 homers this year, but really just need a base knock. You can go station to station again, and then that tying run sits on deck. First pitch was a ball to Rainey. And then a swing over top of that pitch by Rainey makes it 1-1. Bases loaded, infield playing straight up, outfield the same way. Nyblood set, deliver, 1-1, fouled off by Rainey, and it's going to go to 1-2. So once again, the Warriors are down to their final strike with the bases loaded now. Huerta was able to get a 2-strike single back up the middle to keep it alive and keep the season alive. Cumberland trying to do the same. Nyblood will come to the set, the 1-2. To Garrett Rainey. He swings and misses. Cumberland will advance, and they will face Tennessee Wesleyan in another elimination game coming up shortly here on SCSN. What an incredible season for Indiana Tech. It comes to an end here in the NAIA opening round. But I say this again, nothing to hang your head on. 38-20 on the year, a conference record of 20-8. They won the conference tournament in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. They had an incredible year in Kip McWilliams' 18th season at the helm. Just a great thing, nothing to hang your head on. Played all out here and lost to one of the better teams in the country and in this region in Cumberland, the number 2 seed overall. 8-3 is our final score. Cumberland, though, oh my, they come back from a 3-0 deficit, take the lead in the 5th inning, and then add some insurance in the 8th to make it 5-3. And then who else but Preston Wetchell to come up and hit a 3-run bomb in the top half of the 9th inning to extend that lead to 5, and that lead holds. 8-3 is our final score. Cumberland wins and advances. They will play in about an hour against Tennessee Wesleyan here on SCSN. Can't thank you enough for joining us all day. We still got more action here on SCSN. One more game left to go here. It's Tennessee Wesleyan and the Cumberland Phoenix. The 1 versus the 2 seed in an elimination game before Championship Thursday here on SCSN. We will step aside for the next hour. When we come back, we'll have it all for you here on SCSN from Kingsport.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. This broadcast is a product of Shrine Media, LLC. Unauthorized use, sale, or redistribution of this media in any form is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of Shrine Media. Radio and television mediums are encouraged to reach out. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the game.